So my books, they're all based around community. So the first one, The Seat Left Empty, it's part of a collection that I'm doing around. It's called the Blue Seat Chronicles. The second one came out a few months ago, which is The Seats We Once Filled. And it's all the chronicles are going to be fictional stories within the stands of Everton matches, and what goes on with that little community and that pocket of people in that part of the ground. You know, their backstories, their stories when they go to the match, who they are outside the match, and it just comes from me observing people and just watching people and making stories in my head about who could that person be. A lot of it from the first book is based around me in a way. So my granddad passed away when I was about 11. I was really close to him. I wasn't really into football, and I wanted a connection with him, so I became an avid Evertonian. Because my granddad, my mum, my dad were all mad Evertonians, and my granddad especially. And I became an Evertonian to be close to him and step in the ground where he stepped, follow the players, and hear the stories of Duncan McKenzie. So my granddad's got a picture of him with Duncan McKenzie, and it's his hero, and he shows everyone it because he loved Duncan McKenzie because apparently he could jump over a mini, and that's the story around him. And Bob Latchford, who could walk on water, and Alan Ball and all that. So that's how I got into football. And then when I was younger, even still in late 80s, one of my cousins, who was a mad Evertonian, he went to every match, and he was run over when he was 14 and passed away. And I got given a scarf, and that's his scarf. And it's like a proper 1980s Everton knitted scarf that I keep for special occasions, and I take to special matches. And the other week, his mum actually passed away, my auntie. So it was even more poignant. So I went down. His mum got a stone with his name on at the new ground, so I've got a picture with the scarf around the stone for her after she passed away and done all that. But that's my connection to Everton. So I put the stories together, and I say it's come from my mental health, my ADHD, and trying to push something on paper to get it out of my head and just put it down, and they came from it. I then started looking at other ones, so I've done one around a young person with autism, which is loosely based on my son Charlie, because he's diagnosed with autism, but it's not him, but it is him. And it's about how he's going through life each day at a time. So it's Joe one moment at a time, it's called. And it's not an educational story. It is educational in terms of raising awareness, but it's not. It's a fictional story. And each chapter is based on 3 perspectives. So we have Joe's perspective on the chapter. So one chapter's around him getting new headphones, for example. So how does Joe perceive that whole chapter? So what's his story on that chapter? Then the next part will be around how his nan perceives that chapter as the caregiver. And then the third part's how a neurotypical mind would perceive that chapter as an observer and narrator kind of thing. And that's really, I'm proud of that work, because, I've shared that with professionals, and they've all come back and said how really useful it is for families. And, really, if people read that, they'll see that. And it gives people an understanding